Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We have our guest here, Jesse, founder of N1Z. Is that correct or not? Yeah, your group, your Telegram group that you created before.
That is not correct. I'm just a member.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. What was your founder again? I mean, like, yeah, I forgot when we have a pre-chat before, right?
Yeah, I think we chatted through the BMN. Maybe is that how you
Ah,
got
yeah,
my name?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you read what I wrote there about the BMN finance group?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, before I start the video, maybe can you share a little bit more about yourself and how you get into the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole of Bitcoin?
Of course, yeah. I mean, started 2017 with my job where we work with customers in Mali and West Africa to produce electricity and sell it to them. And the question is always, how do we get the money back out? Because they are our customers. It's not a donation, and so we need to get the money back. And the problem is always, how do you convert their currency, franc CFA, to euro to pay our investors back? And that's why I got started down. Stumbled across some shitcoin, had to buy Bitcoin to buy it.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's happened to most people, where all what is called gradually but suddenly people will dive down the rabbit hole of Bitcoin, because of this shitcoin is just a pump and dump coin. Yeah.
I came for all the right, all the usual reasons to make some money. Got really excited, but really fully understanding what Bitcoin is about, I would say maybe from Corona time onwards, because then I had a lot of time, during Corona lockdown, no traveling to work. So I have every day I have like 2-3 more hours, and I spent a lot of time educating myself, and getting away from ICOs and shitcoins and quick money to understanding what Bitcoin actually is and what it means for humanity going forward, as a development of money. That's pretty important.
Yes.
And yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah, we here we try to fix the money, right? Once we fix the money, we fix the world. Yeah, that's the point of the Bitcoin. I mean, like, when was the time when your aha moment with the Bitcoin only? I mean, like, since you mentioned the lockdown, I mean, like, since the last year, or just when you got into the in 2017, or what?
I think there were two moments really. The first moment was when I understood what money actually was. Beforehand you don't think about it. You have €5 bill, €10 bill. You don't understand what it actually is. You just use it every day. But then when you understand, okay, good money, what is that? That's it's rare, it's transportable, you can devise it nicely, you can identify it, all these important qualities of money. And then if you transfer that to Bitcoin and understand that Bitcoin is actually the most perfect money humanity has ever had when it comes down to the qualities, as a medium of exchange to store value, that was one big moment where I was like, okay, like, this is not just digital gold, but this could actually be a global currency that everybody has access to. I can send sats from my node to Mali in a second, and nobody can do anything about it. And to send or to you in Indonesia in a second, right? That's insane.
Yes.
If you think about how archaic our current system is, right? That, and then also just macro, understanding the situation central banks are in currently. Rates are all at zero. You can't go up with rates, everything will explode. You cannot let it run, because then inflation will make everything go to shit. It's going to be really interesting to understand and to see how they're going to get out of it. And I'm just really, really glad I found a hedge and an exit valve, and also not just having understood Bitcoin, but actually going Bitcoin and being certain and trusting it much more than a lot of other things. People talk about, oh, it's a big risk investment. I'm like, you have all your money in euros, dollars. What's the currency in Indonesia? And I feel like that's more risky. Evergrande just went completely bust.
Yeah, there is a saying, there is a risk. The risk of Bitcoin is the volatility, right? But the bigger risk is not to invest, not to buy. That's why people find it like not really.
I have a small group here. There's a social network called Nebenan in Germany, where you basically have a social network that only your immediate neighbors you can have contact with. Right? So you need to have proof of address, and then outside you can see like all these people could join the network. And I offered like, do you want to understand Bitcoin? Wrote a post, and now I have 15 people in a group, and we talk about it. I try to educate them a little bit, try to orange pill them. And we're answering very basic questions. Volatility, money laundering, climate change, energy usage, all these things, right? And volatility is a big thing. I'm just like, okay, what's the time frame here? Yes, 2-3 weeks. It can go up and down, right? But if you look history-wise, you have 12 years of history with Bitcoin. And in every year, except for one, the lowest price was always higher than the next year. Or the previous year, right? So that means Bitcoin is going up steadily. Sure, it can go down. Sure, it can go down. But nobody can modify or influence my savings, right? And that's big value to me. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be invested if I thought long-term it wouldn't go up, obviously. And I'm very convinced of that. Obviously, anything can happen. There's no assurance. But that goes for everything, right? There's no guarantee. There's only one guarantee. Like if you hold your money in euros or in fiat, then you'll lose value. That's guaranteed, right? And that pushes people out the risk curve. And yeah, I see actually Bitcoin as pretty boring as an investment, because it's if you look into it enough, it's actually pretty safe.
Exactly. I mean, like, when you mention like certainties in life, there are three things that certain in life. I mean, like death and taxes and inflation. There is nothing you can do about it, right? Yeah, I understand it for you. That's why. I mean, like you also involved in Bitcoin education, like you mentioned before. Can you share a little bit more about that? I mean, like. Is that any difference with any logic that I mentioned before, or just the
same? You mean the education part?
Yeah, education with your local community. Is that?
No, that's just me. I just try to find out because my wife is pretty, she's also in Bitcoin because of me. But after a while, she gets bored with the topic, right? And I annoy her. Bitcoin, everything is Bitcoin, everything is related. And I just needed to have an exit valve, to talk about it more with other people like you. That's why we're doing this podcast too. And I feel like, okay, this topic can be very difficult to get into, people who don't use computers, who are not well versed on the internet, people who might not invest money at all, but want to and hear Bitcoin and read about it, but they can't find the entrance to the rabbit hole, right? And so I thought, okay, if I want to talk about this topic more, why don't I offer to answer questions for people, right? That way I can learn, I can practice to explain Bitcoin, which is very, very complex, in simple terms, which I think is pretty valuable. And I just enjoy teaching and passing on knowledge and answering questions, right? And also trying to test my thesis. Because basically everything that I do with Bitcoin, I'm on Twitter way too much, is trying to find a reason why it doesn't work. Like, what's the reason? Why am I wrong, right? And so far, I'm yet to find a reason that says, look, Bitcoin can fail because of this, and this. But yeah, with the local community, that's just a couple of people from around the block here
Yeah.
that I want to try and pass knowledge onto.
Yeah, because the education is the most important thing when it comes to the adoption, right? I mean, like, have you ever heard of a podcast of the 70 numbers? What said that, he's not pushing Bitcoin, he's just
Austrian economics.
yeah, it's Australian economics. He just puts the fact that he is not a big proponent. He also mentioned the risk of it, right? I mean, like the risk of it of Bitcoin. I mean, like not only bullish case but also the bearish case, and you can decide whether it's better for you. That's why it's objective, and you can make it for yourself. About
the thing is, it's not sustainable if you make the choice for other people, right? They need to make the choice for themselves. They need to understand, and then everybody needs to make the decision. Some people might say, look, I will buy Bitcoin when there is no more volatility because I cannot handle it, right? I say I'm willing to pay that price for performance. I've done drawdowns 80%, 60%, 70%. I've seen my net value go poof so many times. And now I don't care anymore, which is really, really nice.
Especially, during these days when government involved and big corporation try to put it in a balance sheet. I think, it's only a matter of time of Bitcoin to reach the mass adoption, It's all about time.
The issue is now, the big issue is now, I think if you've been into Bitcoin for like 4 years, and there's a big dip, right?
Yeah.
And you have nothing left
to
buy it with.
Yeah, that's pretty much
that makes me sad. But I mean,
that's that's part of the life, I mean, like, that's why DCA really is the way to go, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what about the Einun Wazik? Is that the part of the German influencer or what? I mean, like, could you share?
Yeah, I think, 21 means 21 written out in German.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. And it started as a small podcast, and now it's a very big community. I can actually check on Telegram in the group. We have 2,000 people. There's a bigger podcast, and they do a lot of education, a lot of news. They have a club that you can join. There's 21 meetups all around Germany, right? For all different parts where people can meet up. And it's just an entry point for people that want to learn about Bitcoin only, right? And it's just a German community, the biggest one. So that's what 21 is. Yeah, started with a small podcast, and now it's growing and growing and growing. Because a lot of people who've been into Bitcoin early and fell down a rabbit hole very early. Gigi? Yeah, he is in there as well, and I think he started it, the Austrian dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a German-speaking community that I'm in as well.
Yeah, I think he's like, I don't know, he's like anonymous, right? He don't want to share his identity, and that's part of Bitcoin, the privacy thing. That's why I respect that at some point, but it's their choice to make that.
No, of course. I think it shows a very important quality. Obviously, he takes it to the extreme, right? That's also his brand.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean, he does it pretty well, right? Nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, like, not only him, like Plan B. So many investors that have anonymous thing. But that's the beauty part of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter whether it's your background from a PhD or something else. It doesn't matter. Once you have the knowledge, the community will find you valuable, right?
Absolutely. And I tell people yesterday also, like, can government stop me from using it? Like, no, everybody can use it. If you're in Mali, Indonesia, Vietnam, Germany, America, it doesn't matter. Everybody can go and buy Bitcoin, and nobody sex, gender, doesn't matter, right? It's just numbers. It's just mathematics, right?
It's
And
just
everybody can
mathematics.
use it. That's it's amazing.
Yeah,
It gives me such a different perspective on the world, right? Once you sort of switch to seeing things in satoshis, it's a whole different world that you look at through that lens, and it's very, very exciting. I feel like, I don't know, what was your start? How did you get started with Bitcoin?
sorry.
How did you get started with Bitcoin?
Yeah, I in 2017 as well, where I got into Bitcoin. But at first, I not I lost some money on my shitcoin. That's why I learned from a lesson. And then when the bull market hits since 2019, I focus on Bitcoin.
Nice, congratulations. You early.
Yeah, gradually but suddenly, That's why people in addition maybe a little bit lagging. People in here is still in 2017 phase. And that's why I edit to educate people before it's too late. But
Man,
we can do is educate, not to try to force anyone because people make the choice.
I have so many people around me who buy Axis and Ethereum, and it's just very, very frustrating, but it's always a fun conversation.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's all to an extent centralized and not an alternative.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Yeah, exactly.
People will pay the price they deserve. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's part of the game, and then they will learn Bitcoin later on. I mean,
Absolutely.
Since you mentioned privacy and since you mentioned about the Bitcoin, I mean, I know the Germany. Maybe I read some news that there is the I don't know. Maybe it's just I read the news. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Where the government tried to Nazi back from the dead. I mean, like the government tried to enforce to do. I mean,
Rules, you mean?
mandate or I mean,
I think it's the
do you
EU.
think that Bitcoin is the answer of all this because of there's I don't know, there's pros and cons of it. I don't want to talk about it because it's kind of politics, right? But what do you perspective on it?
I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, but I assume you're referring to the ban that's being discussed in the EU, right? Where they want to ban the payment.
The payment and then
no anonymous
the mandate,
wallets.
The help mandate,
All right, you mean the COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they made a decision today that I think everybody who's in health, who's a health worker, needs to be vaccinated. And I mean, it's a very difficult topic, right? I mean,
exactly. That's why if you don't want to answer, it's okay. It's just
no, it's all I can answer. It's all good. I mean, look, in the end, it's all about everybody's own decision, right? That's what I feel like. Everybody should make their own decision.
Yes.
You cannot force people to do anything, in my opinion. And when it doesn't work anymore, people are very quick to say, oh, you need to do it for the better of the country and for everybody else. I chose to be vaccinated, right? Because I trust the science and I feel like it makes sense. I'm vaccinated against many other things. And I feel like the risk of getting it and having a tough time is much higher than having any effects from the vaccine, right? But where I see the problem is now where it doesn't end. Now you need to get 3 more vaccinations against Omicron variant, and people are shut out from their daily lives, and like my wife is pregnant now. If she's not vaccinated, can she not take the bus anymore? Stuff like that makes me angry, especially because in Germany I think we now have the second highest caseload in Germany. And the issue is that it was in a big way messed up during election time.
Yeah.
Politics, right? We had election time
Yeah.
last summer, and it was very convenient for the leading party to say, vote for us again. We beat COVID. Everything is fine. We don't, and they stopped listening to science, right?
Yes.
They closed everything down. They closed all the vaccination centers, no boosting, no nothing. And now we have high cases again in winter because it was not solved, right? COVID was gone in Germany, basically. It was basically gone. Like cases were near zero.
Yeah.
And now we have a crazy situation, you know, and then, yeah, it's very difficult. But in the end, I always say, like, don't force people. Everybody needs to make their own decision. And the more the government will push, the more the people will push back. You know, it's very natural.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is the Bitcoin the answer of all of this? Because Bitcoin fixes this, right? As there's the saying. Right?
I'm not sure how Bitcoin immediately fixes this. I'm sure one solution could be, if you have Bitcoin, you can just step on a plane, fly somewhere else, and all my wealth is with me, right?
Yeah.
If I didn't want to adhere, I could fly to El Salvador, right, and take all my wealth with me, which is pretty big, and it gives people the opportunity to just move if they don't like and vote with their feet, because they're less tied, right? If you have a house, if you have big amounts of gold or shares, and all your wealth is tied up in those things, then it's very hard to liquefy that and move away.
Yeah.
But with Bitcoin, all I need is 12 words in my head, and I'm
Right.
out. You know, so it gives a lot of power to the individual and their decision, and that I think is good, because in the end, I feel like it's a nature to have competition, right? And that's competition right there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, when it comes to, like, maybe there's a politics that's maybe when you do the mandate and wanna bring the CBDC, and once the government don't like you and they try to ban you, yeah, right. I mean, like, Bitcoin is the answer because it's censorship resistant and immutable and unconfiscatable. So that's why I
That's
asked
the
you.
future. Yeah, we don't have CBDCs yet. Is the Indonesian government working on a CBDC?
Yeah, they working on it. That's why I a little bit worry about this country, you know, because the debt is all-time highs and COVID cases is no different.
What's inflation like in Indonesia?
Inflation rate this year, maybe it's around 2% or 5%. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't check the last one, but that's the estimate rate of the inflation rate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I think as long as the cases is no no deteriorating. I mean, like the getting lower and lower. I think they still try to push more debt, you know, and push more debt and create more money, right? And that's not the real economic works, right? I mean, like, when you try to push the economy, the inflation will be happen. And
look, Iman, sorry to interrupt you. The beautiful thing is, right, now there's an alternative.
Yeah.
Right. You have Bitcoin over here, and you have the current system over here.
Yeah.
And now, instead of the system saying, no, just trust us, we'll work, it's fine, you can say, no, but I want to go here. Like, I'll have Bitcoin, you can do this over here, and we can just see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm not subject to your mistakes, because I can move.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's I think one of the most powerful things, that there's now an alternative.
Yeah.
And then there is a natural alternative. right? That the current system has to deal with, and now it has to prove itself, right? There's competition.
Yeah.
What system works better?
Yeah.
And I'm fully with you. You know, the value comes from the individual. I believe in hard money. It just makes logical sense to me. Like, I'm not an economist, right? But if I read how Austrian economic works, it's logical. And there is good counter arguments to this current system that we are living in. And so, yeah, that's I think very, very big, right? You can vote to say, like, look, I'm pulling all my money out, and we can just see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, yeah, that's why I mentioned before about Bitcoin fixes this, right? I mean, like, the chain is like, I mean, like, is a macro level, you know. That's why it's not about the main debt itself. It's not about health itself. It's the outcome. I mean, like the outcast. That's why it's just yeah, complicated thing. The world we're living in right now, but in Indonesia, still don't recognize that impact. You know, that's why I still afraid of the future if there is no Bitcoin. You know, because
we are so early. You know, when I speak to this group of people that I do some education with, I realize how early we are. People are like, oh, the price is $50,000. Am I too late? No, we're so early. It's ridiculous how early we are. So it's insane. Like, people have no idea. If you ask 1,000 people in the street, what is money?
Yes.
Maybe 2 people will give you a correct answer. The rest have no idea. None, you know? And that's pretty scary. But I mean, yeah, it's good for us, I guess.
Yes, yes.
If we happen to be correct with our thesis that Bitcoin is the answer to many things and is the better money and will prevail because it will win the competition, because it is the best money that humanity has ever seen, then, you know, we'll be rewarded for the risk that we're taking now.
Yes. Yeah, once Bitcoin will be in the hyper Bitcoinization, where is it in 10 years or what? I mean, like the politician will be like, oh, you like they just won their fair share. Like, I mean, like they try to tax and unrealized capital gain tax, and they try to both ways. You know, I mean, like I don't know, because the early adopter take more risk, and that's why they deserve the reward, right? I mean, I don't know. The system.
I'm not that skeptical. I'm not very certain that will definitely happen. You know, currently in Germany, you can buy Bitcoin, hold it for a year, and sell it without paying tax.
Yeah.
You know, there was more than enough opportunity to change this if they were really worried about it. Maybe they just don't know. That could be, right? Maybe they just don't have any idea. And politics in general is still very uninformed. But I still think, like, okay, I like to believe that we live in a system of democracies and laws and rules, and that in most parts of the world, that will also be respected. Look, I'm not completely libertarian, where I believe like the state will come and try its hardest to fight it out. It might happen in parts of the world, right?
Yes.
But countries have also tried already and failed. You know, Turkey, Nigeria, right? You can ban Bitcoin, right? You can tell Nigerians, no, you cannot transfer money into a crypto exchange anymore. But adoption rate is going up, like, and you cannot stop it. And in the end, you have to accept it. You know, there's nothing you can do about it unless you want to become really, really authoritarian and become a really scary state. But I don't think that will happen everywhere in the world just because of Bitcoin. I think it'll be a slow transition, and there will be more adoption, and there won't be a big bang, and there will be a slow transition to a new standard. And I think people in government and in central banks will try to make that transition smooth, right? Because they're not stupid.
Yes, exactly.
They're not dumb. Like I have a hard time believing that smart people in government and in central banks don't already know what Bitcoin is and what will happen. I mean, if I can figure it out, like I'm humble enough to say, if I can sit here on my desk and learn about Bitcoin and figure it out, then, you know, people in positions of a central bank will as well. And so, yeah, I mean, time will tell. I've made my bet, and we'll see.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like, like you mentioned before that Germany has like, if you hold for 2 years, you have no taxes because the government and the regulators maybe don't understand the value. But at the same time, I think they pretend not to know, you know, because some politician like Hillary Clinton said that the risk of the Bitcoin will challenge the government. Right? I mean, like maybe they try to bring the price down so they get involved. But we can see, yeah.
So, sorry to interrupt you again, but look what's happening, right? If I invite 15 people here from the block,
yeah,
and I talk to them about Bitcoin, you know, they know all the criticism. They know it uses a lot of energy. They know it's very, very volatile. It's not real. It's gambling. It's working, right?
yeah,
That's what you have to realize. Like, we look behind the curtain and we see, and we make our own decision, right? But people who have no idea, all they hear is energy usage, climate change, boil the oceans, gambling, illegal transactions. You know, I talk to these people and they have no idea what Bitcoin even is, but they associate the word Bitcoin with all of these negative things,
yes,
automatically. And so if that's the plan, it's working. But I think over the long term, enough people will look as well and find different answers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like there's only matter of time before people realize. Like, I mean, like like you mentioned before, and when you have two completely different system. Have you ever maybe I just wanna know about your opinion. I mean, like in the what about the politics? You know, maybe because Bitcoin is so powerful, right? I mean, in the last couple of years, maybe in the next few years, do you see that Bitcoin will be grabbed by politicians to get elected? I mean, like, I don't know.
It's already started.
Yes, exactly.
In the US, it's already started.
Yeah.
Oh, I take Bitcoin donations. I take this. Come to us. Let's mine Bitcoin in Texas. It's already started.
Yeah.
That will happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Germany. If you ask me about Germany, Germany's always very far behind with technology. You know, we're very slow. We still have areas. I would if you made a bet to me saying the internet in Indonesia was better than in Germany, I don't think I would disagree, because Germany is far behind on those things in many cases, and this is the same thing. Same with the EU, right? It's interesting. It's interesting that those countries with the most stable currencies seemingly adopt the latest, and it's all of these countries where people are poorer, considered poorer, developing nations, where the adoption rate is so high. I think Vietnam is top of the list, Nigeria as well, Argentina, Brazil, many nations where you would think like, okay, financial literacy is a problem, whatever. It's those states that adopt first. El Salvador, right?
Yeah.
People in Germany have no idea what's happening.
Yes.
You know, and the government doesn't either. I mean, we just have a new government, and there's always a document, right? What goals does the new government want to achieve? And you can search through it. You don't find the word Bitcoin once.
Yeah.
But the word blockchain and crypto and AI is in there like 5-10 times, you know. So it'll take some time. As I said, I think we're still very, very early. Give it another 4 or 5 years, see what happens then. I mean, this beautiful invention of making the price go up and therefore creating adoption, it does work, right? It pulled me in 4 years ago, pulled you in, and it'll do the same, you know. At some point we'll read, oh, Bitcoin hit 200,000 euros in the news, and people are like, what? Oh, I heard about this Bitcoin thing 3 years ago.
Yes.
Shit, why did I not get in? 2021, why did I not, you know? And the same will happen over and over and over again.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's part of the technology, you know. I mean, like once the politician grab the Bitcoin as their political tool, I mean, like at the same time they will lose their power, right? I mean, is am I correct or not? I mean, like because when the politics is all about control, you know. When you don't have control of your,
it's not designed that way. I feel like it's becoming that way more and more. Everything is becoming more and more centralized, right? People with this COVID thing, like get vaccinated for the greater good of everybody, you know. So much of our daily lives is becoming centralized, and I feel like that's reverting. Like we're hitting waves, right? And now we have Brexit, right? We have issues with Poland. They might try to exit the EU. Who knows what will happen? But I think we're on that downwards path of decentralization now. And and I think, look, what's government really? Government is supposed to be a servant to the people.
Exactly.
Right? Government is supposed to collect taxes, and with those taxes provide goods for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm a reluctant believer in democracy still, right? I'm not fully down the libertarian rabbit hole or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what will happen. Like, I think that Bitcoin will make governments smaller because they need to be more efficient, because they cannot create money out of thin air. And have everybody else pay for it. And I think it will switch the role. Like, it will switch the role from you need to do and this, right? To like, how can we make your life better? Why do you want to stay here? Like, we want to be of yours to your service, right? And once it's a very powerful thing to think, okay, if the government wants to go to war, if the government wants to do housing programs and wants to use, you know, billions of euros for this. Now, if we assume we have a Bitcoin standard, now they need to ask, right?
Yes.
And people can say, yeah, that's all right, we can do that, or no, we cannot do that. But they cannot just take it and say, look, this was our agenda, we're just gonna create the money and do this program. That's a very powerful switch. So it switches government from governing to serving people, and that's, I think, very, very big. And that's what will happen. You know, that's what happened before under a hard money standard, that governments could not make all the decisions and execute whatever they wanted. I mean, look at Afghanistan, right?
Yes.
If you had asked American people, would you give money to the government to finance this war?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's you know, that's the impact of the cheap money being printed. You know, I mean, like, and not only that, the taxes is the problem is not the taxes. You know, the problem is the government spending. You know, which part of the spending that they use.
Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Wait. We have a guest here. Ivan, yeah, from Miss.
Sorry. It's
all good.
Yeah. I will. That's my edit. I think it's part of the government when they try to control people. And you're right.
It's accountability too, right? So it's accountability.
Okay.
Right. So it means the decisions government makes, they have to answer for. Right. If they take your money and my money, and I'm actively giving money away to them and saying, hey, here's my money, you can do this program or whatever with this, then they need to deliver. Because if they don't deliver, I will not give them money again.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's accountability too, right? It's like everybody else. I mean, if you have a business and you make fatal errors, you're broke and your business fails.
Yeah.
If the government says we're gonna build kind of, I don't know, X amount of housing, and they fail to complete this task or to complete the job, nobody cares. Everybody still gets their money, their bonuses. Nobody gives a shit. But now all of a sudden you need to perform.
Yeah. I mean, like Turkish, for example, when there are high hyperinflation in the country, and the government try to even push harder for more centralization. I mean, maybe they try to sell their asset to the default of the debt that they are debt ceiling. But I don't know. Maybe it's kind of hard, to bring to decentralized again if there is no Bitcoin.
That's true, yeah. That's true, but it's the answer. If you're Turkish and you have 20% inflation, look, I'm just gonna buy Bitcoin with my lira. I'm not gonna hold it. Just pray crazy president who's making decisions erratically. Imagine living in a world without Bitcoin and being helplessly or being helpless against decision of an erratic person. Again, like in Germany, in the US, it's still fine, right? There is no real need for Bitcoin because I can wake up. I don't think I have to go to the shop and there's going to be fights over food. Like, it's not crazy. But I think because I have such an international job, I understand how situations can be differently in other countries, right? And if inflation in Turkey goes to 20%, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And imagine that. Imagine you go to the shop and you get 20% less for your money. That's crazy. Yes. That's puts your whole life upside down. And then people say, oh no, I can go to Turkey with my euros and everything is so cheap. I'm like, yeah, for you, and not for the rest.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
These people are suffering from this.
Yes.
And now imagine there was no exit, no alternative.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah, I don't know. There is no exit, I mean, the debt of the government is quite high, and there is been too much money, and there is no way other way but to push more debt, right? to bring the price. I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
It's always the answer. Now, I think I read today, as I said, we have a new government now, and the finance minister today took debt of 60 billion euro, not for any project, just for fun, like just for in case, just to have it.
Yeah.
But there's no specific, like usually there's an idea that's presented, like we have such and such bill, and then the money sort of comes along, right? But now he even just goes and says, okay, I want to have debt. I just want to have it.
Yeah.
And maybe that means things are not going to stay this way. Maybe he wants to have debt now to cheap prices. I don't know, man. It's a crazy world. It's insane. Like when I was 12, I could still go to the bank and get 6% on my savings as a child. I remember going to the bank, right, with my book. Like,
Yeah.
okay, going to the bank till, okay, thank you. Here's your German mark, whatever. Yeah, I mean, now I'm 30, 31. I have a wife, I have a kid, right? I want to build some wealth. I want to have something for my family. And imagining to save my money in stocks or ETFs, like, no way, man.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to spend my free time on financial tools. Like, I've understood Bitcoin. I find it extremely interesting. I still spend a lot of time on it, but it gives me it makes me see the world differently. It's very, very interesting, right? And I do it for fun. And now I'm at a point where I have understood Bitcoin very, very well, and I don't have to question it anymore. Like, I can just put all my money in there and forget about it and know, okay, it's pretty safe, you know?
Yes.
It's very liberating.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, that's, I mean, like, I don't know, the mismanagement of the government is just systemic. It's just, I don't know, where is it going to stop, you know, because yeah, where you see the world is going to more decentralized. I mean, maybe they cannot ban Bitcoin. I understand that, but they can only make it difficult, you know, to adopt. Maybe you slow down the process. Yeah, that's I think that will happen.
Yeah, they can obviously make it very difficult, and that'll halt adoption. But in the long run, I believe people are always gonna, like, individual choices are always gonna prevail. You know, it's gonna come through one way or the other.
Exactly. I mean, like, yeah,
Like,
that's pretty much about.
people yesterday were mind blown. It's like, oh no, but they can ban it. And like, yeah, okay, but we can still meet here, and you can give me money, and I can send you Bitcoin. Nobody can do anything.
Yes.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah. It's just yeah, it's just like the internet, you know. Yeah, that's the protocol. That's the beauty of Bitcoin, you know. What even that's why I say it's not gonna be bad because there is very lucrative money in the Bitcoin, but they can only make it difficult, you know, because they don't want the banking industry get disrupt, you know. The banks, like Michael Saylor once said, have not only option but to adopt, you know, because it's just part of the game, you know. When you cannot beat it, you just join it.
No, of course. Yeah, exactly. And the first ones will win, right?
Yes.
We have the same now. Like, banks in Germany see, and in England or whatever, that people are taking their money out and sending it to California to Kraken. Right? Yeah. My bank account is empty. There's no money there. Right?
Yeah.
So, and they see that, and it's like, okay, that's a loss of business. And if that accelerates, people are not going to have their money here anymore, where I can have like minus interest rates. What is that? Of course, like, you know. And so there will be adoption with the banks, and it will be a possibility to go into your bank and buy Bitcoin with a push of a button. That will, of course, that will happen. Yeah, it started already in America again. NYDIG, I think. Have you heard of NYDIG?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I think they partnered with banks. They're offering this service where banks can now integrate payments or PTC purchasing solutions directly into bank accounts, so that people don't leave and take their money with them.
Yeah, maybe the banks is only offer the custody of the coins, you know, and then they give the customer the fake Bitcoin, and they try to push the CBDC so hard. That's why people who fall for this shit will be, you know, get trapped, you know, because they not your keys, not your coin. Yeah.
And I think that's also why why formats such as yours, maybe you try to push adoption in your local community in Indonesia, whatever. You know, I try to get my sort of neighbors around. I try to get my parents into Bitcoin at least a little bit, you know, because in the end, that's what it'll be about. Like if there's so much distraction, right? There's so much distraction, shit coins everywhere. Marketing, VC firms that try to push their coins. There's so much scamming and bullshit going on. And like, go play over there, go gambling, right? But the problem is that pushes people away from Bitcoin, you know? And if you don't have any idea, you hear about crypto, put Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's all the same thing. But there's so much difference, you know, and that's what I try to understand people. Like, we're not going to speak about crypto here. I will tell you why not, but I have no interest in discussing Ethereum, Solana, like it's IOTA, like it's not interesting to me.
Yeah.
Have you heard of IOTA?
Oh,
IOTA?
yeah, I heard that, but not really. I'm not interested in it. What's this all about?
I mean, I'm not an expert again, but I have discussions with people on Twitter who are like fans of it. It's like, no, we will solve this issue, but then you realize they haven't even understood it yet.
Yes.
Right? The Bitcoin white paper is 8 pages.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
Right? These projects are like super complicated. Nobody can understand them, right?
Yeah.
It's so difficult. You have to have so much trust that you're not being lied to or there's bullshit, right? Yeah, no, I really like this community and I like this person who leads the development. I'm like, you have 0 Bitcoin, but you're gonna run after this cult because you love the community?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really believe it. Like, this is Apple in 2003. Like, nothing has happened. There's been only promises. You know, we are gonna have cheap transaction scalability. We're gonna be free to use. We're gonna be super secure and super decentralized. Like,
I know.
and it's just
Yeah. It's
blah
just,
blah blah. But people believe it. You know.
yes, exactly.
People stick with it, and that's where I see sort of my job, because I like to speak about it. I like to educate, right? And what can I do for Bitcoin? What can I do to do my part, right? You can do your podcast. You can educate your community. You can tell them to stop playing Axie, which is a pyramid scheme, and you can ask them to put at least just a little bit into Bitcoin.
Yes.
And get them, you know, push them back this way. And that's what we can do. And that's where I also take my motivation, you know.
Yeah, because I don't know. People say Bitcoiners is so toxic, and then the Bitcoin become number 1 is because of the free market, right? And because the people understand the value, not because we try to force Bitcoin or we try to push Bitcoin. It's not that way, right? I mean, it's just
no, but look, Bitcoin is toxic when people are lying and they're talking bullshit. Yes, they're idiots. I don't ever write "have fun staying poor" or whatever. Not gonna make it under everybody. Like, if somebody has a question, I answer them.
Yes.
And I enter discussion. I love doing that, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody comes and says Bitcoin is shit, it's gonna go to 0, then I'm just like, okay, dude, what's your point? You know, like, if there's no basis for an argument, right? But if people have questions, I don't know anybody who is in Bitcoin who does not love to speak about it and who does not answer questions as to the best of their ability when they're being asked properly, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sure, if you talk shit and if you're going to come along and scam people, sure, then you deserve to be dunked on, right? But if Bitcoiners are toxic, that's bullshit. Like, if you ask any Bitcoiner on Twitter with laser eyes a proper question, I'll guarantee you in 90% of the cases, you'll get a good answer or a link where you can read further and educate yourself. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people just misunderstood, you know. I mean, like, when you said that other coins is just a cult, and maybe their argument, Bitcoiner is also a cult, you know. But that's not really that, you know. I mean, like, that's the point, right? I mean, because Bitcoin is just the hardest money, and others is try to scam to get more Bitcoin, right?
It can be culty. I think, you know, it can be people with laser eyes on Twitter. I mean, from the outside, if you're not in it, you see people with laser eyes. They all write Bitcoin everywhere. They think Bitcoin is a solution to everything. Like, it can be a bit cultish.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I believe if you if you enter a discussion with somebody, within the first 3 minutes, you know, you will realize, okay, you know, there might be more here, or this person is happy to answer my questions. And I've never met or spoken to so many people who also like to say, like, I don't know, you know, if they don't have the answer.
Yes.
Then they don't talk out of their ass. They say, like, look, I have no idea, you know, maybe look here or ask this person, this guy, because Bitcoin has so many facets. Bitcoin has energy, history, what's money, philosophy. I think Gigi even wrote a paper. Bitcoin is a life form, right? There's so many technology. What's mining? What is a node? Math. Like, there's so many aspects to it. And
Yes.
you can tackle it from so many different sides, right?
Yeah.
You can come from so many different angles, and there's an angle for everybody. Right?
Yes.
There's an angle for everybody. Like when I did this thing with my neighbors here, because I don't know them, right? I say, okay, the best way in general to get people into this topic is to ask them what they think money is, and to explain money to them. And then Bitcoin makes sense for most people, because everybody uses money in their daily lives.
Yes.
Right? If you go to people and say, like, look, okay, Bitcoin is going to save the environment because Bitcoin miners are location and time independent power consumers, people are, you lost them, right? No chance. But if you tell them, look, Bitcoin is the evolution of money, huh? Why?
Yes.
Everybody has a concept of money, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to start.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Bitcoin, you know, because that's why there is no discrimination in Bitcoin. You know, whatever your background, your race, whether you're dentist or politician or mathematician or geologist or so many backgrounds, so many angles. You know, that's why I think that's the beauty of Bitcoin, who capture so many backgrounds. That's why I interested so much about Bitcoin.
That's why you can spend so much time on it, you know. I mean, again, I've been doing it now extensively for 2 years, and it's another full-time job, you know. There's so many books to read, so many podcasts to listen to, so many discussions to have, so many articles to read, so many subjects to understand, to sort of piece it all together. It's a full-time job, you know.
Yes.
But I'm really thankful, because it's changed my life completely. It's given me such a different outlook, and gives me a lot of hope as well, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, I would like to ask the lightning before, but in the pre-chat we said that the expert is the who is the guy again? The name of the guy again? Ren Picard, right? Yeah.
René Picard, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I will explain. I will ask him about the lightning to him. But I think what else I'm gonna ask, right? I think it's already like 1 hour already.
We covered pretty much everything you wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I did just set up my node, Iman.
You set up your node?
Yes, look.
Oh,
My
okay.
camera is bad, so you can't see much, but I'll show
Yeah,
you here.
exactly.
That's running there.
Yeah, it's a full node or just
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. Lightning and full node.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Is it we using Raspberry Pi or? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Do you know Raspberry Blitz?
Yeah. What's this all about? Yeah.
This is a Raspberry Blitz. So you can get Umbrel full node, you can get other types of full nodes, but this is a Raspberry Blitz that I just built last weekend.
Yeah, that's good when you secure on your fund. That's why you're full sovereign individual, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the point of the Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Before I end this video, because it's already 1 hour already. I mean, like, yeah, it's we know that 1 Bitcoin is equal to 1 Bitcoin. Right? I mean, like, it's only for fun, no financial fuss. Do you have any Bitcoin price prediction for next year or 3 years? Or yeah, I know because Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin. Right? I mean, like. Do you
one
have,
Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't. Price predictions are crazy. You're actually the first person to really ask me my price prediction. I do think that Bitcoin is now at 1 trillion US dollar market cap, right?
Yes.
Gold, I think, is 10.
Yes.
So it's a 10x from here to catch gold. Lowest price this year was 25,000. Give me a date. By when? Price prediction. Price by when?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but I'm asking you, Iman. Give me a date. You're saying price prediction, okay? But at what time?
It's up to you. I mean, like, you can take a 1 year or 2 year or until the
You tell me what time.
Until the next halving. Yeah, the next halving. I mean, like,
after or before?
Just before the halving, because the halving is just a crucial thing. I mean, like, with the election, right? With the 20.
I'll say before the halving, the max price will be $150.
Oh, yes.
$150.
Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, because yeah, the inflation rate getting shrinking over the halving, right? And then yeah, that's the pretty much of the game when the supply is shrinking and the demand is quite high.
I mean, that's March 2024.
Okay.
March 2024. If the cycle goes like the last one, we'll have a big boost now. It'll go down again. Maybe it'll sort of tinker around 2-3 years, around 70, 80. But I do think that now the halving, people will look for it more because the last one was so evident and there was adoption. So yeah, before the halving, $150,000 maybe. But who knows? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable, to reach that price target because, especially when the inflation rate is all-time highs and government spending is never stopped. I think there is no way, there is no other way than Bitcoin. Right? I mean, yeah, I think there is a speed up the adoption.
All right.
Yeah. I think that's it, guys. Thank you for the conversation today. Thank you for your time, Jesse. It's been an honor to be here. I will share the link in the description about you. So, guys, please check out and then leave a like and subscribe to our channel.